you decide to market your brand is how you show up in the world. Just Marketing is committed to making a difference through being and building ethical, anti-racist, and equitable businesses. If we haven't met yet, my name is Meg Brunson, my pronouns are she, her, and Just Marketing combines my mission to build a more accessible and inclusive world with my expertise in the digital marketing space. Let's do this. Have you created an ICA for your business? What about an inclusive ICA? Curious about the difference? Stay tuned. An ideal client avatar is like a blueprint for your perfect customer. It's a comprehensive picture of who your ideal customer is, including things like their age, occupation, what problems they have, what they want, and how they make purchases. Knowing your ICA is really important for reaching and connecting with your target audience effectively. By understanding what your ICA needs and wants, you can adjust your products or services to fit those needs, which will make it more likely that they'll buy from you and become a loyal customer. It might seem like a good idea to make your ICA like you, but that can be limiting and cause problems. So it's important to keep in mind that your ICA should represent your ideal customer, not necessarily yourself. You are not your ICA. Not taking the time to understand your target audience can result in an ideal client avatar, ICA, that just doesn't represent the people you actually want to reach. If you're making your ICA like yourself, but a few months ago or a few years ago, like many people teach you to do, that's not always a good idea. By doing that, you're assuming that your target audience has the same interests, problems, experiences, and desires that you do. And that can lead to an ICA that is not inclusive and marketing strategies that don't connect with your target audience effectively. In the end, this could mean ineffective marketing and intentionally leaving segments of your ideal audience completely out of the conversation. So it's really important to take the time to research and understand the unique needs and wants of your target audience to make sure that your ICA is truly representative of them. Doing the research and making a detailed profile of your ideal client avatar really helps you get to know your target audience better. You learn what they need and want, and that lets you adjust your products or services to fit those needs. With that understanding, you can create marketing strategies that really connect with your target audience and resonate with them. In the end, that will lead to more leads, more traffic, and more sales. The Just Marketing approach to building an ICA focuses on creating two equally important ICAs, your average ICA and your inclusive ICA. Creating your average ICA is similar to what most people teach when it comes to developing your ICA. It's where you will complete your market research of your existing audience or an audience of people you know are your ideal people. When creating your ideal client avatar, your ICA, there are 9 key things to include. 1 is demographics. This includes information like age, gender, income, education level, location, and occupation. 2 is pain points. What problems or challenges does your ICA face that your products or services can help solve? 3 is desires. What are your wants and needs of your ICA? What are they looking for in a product or service, like the products or service that you offer? 4 is buying habits. How does your ICA typically make purchases? Do they prefer online shopping or in-person visits? Do they make decisions quickly, or do they need time to research and compare options? Number 5, values and beliefs. What values and beliefs does your ICA hold that are important to them? Number 6 is interests. What hobbies and interests does your ICA have? Number 7 is communication style. How does your ICA prefer to receive information and communicate with businesses? Number 8 is objections. What objections might your ICA have to your product or services? And number 9 is sources of information. Where does your ICA typically look for information about products and services like yours? By incorporating all of these elements into your ICA, it'll help you gain a better understanding of who your target audience is and help you create more effective marketing strategies. Now it's time to talk about creating an inclusive ICA. It may seem paradoxical to have an ICA that represents one person also be inclusive of a diverse group of people, but it can be done. For this step, it actually doesn't matter who's actually in your audience if you already have an existing audience. Instead, what you want to envision is your ideal audience in all of its beautiful and diverse glory. Now, think about the many ways that people are marginalized by age, gender, race, orientation, income, education level, location, occupation, etc., and begin to craft the most marginalized member of this ideal community. This person is likely a female, queer or trans, person of color, and someone who is deaf and or blind. You're selecting the classifications that have been minoritized. The really cool thing is that if you always speak to this most marginalized member, you'll be able to reach the greatest number of people. For example, everyone benefits from captions on video. Hearing people benefit when they watch without sound, and everyone benefits from alt text on images. Sighted people benefit when images don't load due to slow internet. So speaking to your most marginalized member is always, always, always a good idea. You still want to include all the same details that we outlined in the average ICA, but now I want you to consider and research how this inclusive ICA built from the most marginalized characteristics may differ from your average ICA. As a white person, I know that the experience of a person of color is different from mine. And without taking an inclusive ICA into consideration, I would likely assume that my existing audience is white like me, and my marketing would fail to resonate with a majority of non-white people. And the same can be said for all of the other demographic differences. So if during your market research, you receive information from people who are similar to your inclusive ICA, you can leverage that feedback here. Do your best. You're going to return to this ICA creation process from time to time as your audience grows, and you'll be able to gather more data and strengthen your ICA. Now that you've done the work to create 2 ICAs, you're probably wondering which one you're supposed to use. You're going to use your inclusive ICA when it comes to your messaging. Remember that you've pulled information from your average ICA to create this avatar, but it specifically speaks to the most marginalized member. And this allows the greatest number of your ideal audience to feel seen, heard, and understood by your marketing messaging. You can also leverage your market research to identify problems. So I want to encourage you to take a close look at the demographic information that you gather from your existing audience in the market research phase. Is it diverse? Does it represent your inclusive ICA? If not, it's okay. That's what Just Marketing is here for. The harsh reality is that the marketing status quo does not help us to build inclusive audiences. We have to unlearn what we were taught to do and then relearn the ethical and inclusive methods. Building out your inclusive ICA will be a great first step, along with continuing to follow along with Just Marketing as we explore more ways to make your messaging and your marketing more just, so that you can attract the inclusive audiences that you want to serve. Let's recap. Using yourself as the basis for your ICA can lead to assumptions about your target audience, a limited understanding of their unique needs and wants, and an ICA that is not inclusive of your actual target market and/or the target market that you aspire to reach. By conducting research and creating a detailed profile of your average ICA, and then leveraging that information during the creation of your inclusive ICA, and then centering the most marginalized member of your audience, you're setting yourself up to speak to a diverse and inclusive audience. As your business grows and you learn more about your target market, it's important to keep revisiting and updating your ICAs to make sure they're always up to date and truly represent the people that you want to reach. By understanding the unique needs and wants of your target audience, you can create effective marketing strategies, increase the likelihood of making a sale, and building a loyal customer base, all while making people feel seen, heard, and understood, and while making the world a better place. I'd love to know what you think of this episode and hope you'll find me on Instagram at @TheMegBrunson Slide into my DMs or comment on a post, whatever feels right to you. Until next time. Bye for now.
Okay, y'all. I know this podcast is full of recommendations for ensuring your marketing is just, and trying to remember all the things can be overwhelming. Luckily, you don't have to rely on memory alone. Before you post your next piece of content, be sure to download the Just Marketing Checklist so that you can ensure that everything is as accessible and inclusive as possible. You can download that resource at justmarketingchecklist.com. You may already know, but we've made Just Marketing accessible to you however you prefer to consume your content. You can subscribe and listen on your favorite podcast player, subscribe on our YouTube channel to watch the videos, or read the transcriptions on the blog and subscribe there as well. I would appreciate honest reviews wherever you are consuming this content. And of course, if you would share this resource with anyone who is or should be on a Just Marketing journey. Thank you so much for being with us again today. I appreciate you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.